This is Brother Teacher with a question. Would you like to live as long as you possibly could? A very meaningful and productive life from this day forward? Would you? What price would you pay to have as best health as you possibly can? Is that valuable to you? Do you even care? Do you want to be here for many more years and not be a vegetable in a hospice unit, or someone who you know that you only have a few days, few weeks, few months, maybe even a year to live because of something that you could have avoided? I'm keeping it 100, as they say. I'm keeping it real with you. I've said this before, heard this expression over the past several years. You don't know what you don't know sometimes. Most of us were born into this thing called what we presume as reality. It's a reality, all right, but whose reality? The Matrix, you might call it again. It's two different systems operating at the same time. It's the world that we're in that was created by someone else, and it's the world that God intended us to be in, that we're supposed to be pretty much in control of. But we've let go our control and allowed someone else to take the reins up. So, back to my original question, how long do you plan on being here? If the answer is as long as you possibly can, then why don't you do yourselves a favor? Whoever you are just listening to me right now, do yourself a favor and stop some of the bad habits that you have adopted throughout your life that's causing you ill health. And I'm not without varnish or blame. I'm not. As I said before, you don't know what you don't know when things are presented to you from your childhood throughout your adulthood that you've never even been aware of until someone exposes it to you, or you may happen upon it. So, what's some of the things that you can stop doing today that you've been doing that's causing you to live a very short life, or a life shorter than you deserve? Could you possibly stop smoking? You already know it causes cancer, but you still do it. What about drinking alcohol? You already know it's bad for your liver, your kidneys, just your body in general. But we always want to explain away the reasons we do what we do. For instance, alcohol again. I only drink casually. Okay, but why are you really drinking? Are you drinking because of the feeling or because it's healthy? I'd venture to say the first one. Chewing tobacco is just as much of a culprit as smoking tobacco. What about your diet? Eating any and everything virtually you get your hands on without considering the harmful possible effects of doing so. Now, we all know by now, should know, that processed foods are not healthy. I say it again. Processed foods. Foods that have all types of ingredients added to the real food in many instances, and sometimes there's no real food at all. Sometimes there's just something that was manufactured in a laboratory, given a flavor, and it's not food at all. I want to go off on a tangent so desperately and start mentioning names, but I might get in trouble. But I'll be careful. But I will say this to you. Let's take one example. Coca-Cola. Does that have any nutritional value in it whatsoever? Does it? Is the answer yes or no? Coca-Cola tastes good, but it's a chemical. Have you ever thought about that? I mean, extensively, have you thought about it? Coca-Cola and every other soda, for the most part, are just simply chemicals with flavor, color. You enjoy the taste. You like the carbonation, the twist, the variety. So does the manufacturers of those products that brings them in annually billions of dollars off of your ignorance and your addiction, which they ensure that you continue with, that addiction, that sugar. We should know by now high fructose corn syrup is dangerous. White granulated sugar, processed sugar, is dangerous. They are chemicals, and they are harmful to us. And we like to use the expression doing things in moderation. Well, the real true application of that expression should only rest in overdoing things that's healthy for you, not doing things that's bad for you. It's like, I smoke in moderation. What kind of sense does that make? If it's poison, it's poison. How could you do that in moderation? I drink alcohol in moderation. For real? There's a lot of alcoholics or heavy drinkers that have killed people on the highway in their vehicles, automobiles. There's many that have killed themselves from liver cancer, but they do it in moderation, right? What are you doing in moderation today? Do you have the control over your own desires and or habits? Do you really? Or is that thing controlling you? Just something for you to think about. Stop smoking. Stop drinking. Stop eating processed foods. And start eating whole foods. WHOLE, whole, that means complete foods. Nothing added to it that's artificial. And getting fresh air, exercising, reading good books, going out to experience nature, being around family and loved ones and friends, people that love you. Nothing can trump those things. Because if you really want to be here for as many years in the future as you possibly can, then you'll do what I just said. Now, I don't have any power to stop anyone. You're going to do what you want to do. But while you are doing what you want to do, you must accept the consequences for what you choose to do. This is Brother Teacher. So long.